So you may be asking why I'm filming in a cemetery. A lot of dreams die here without ever being discovered. That's why I'm filming. I think you need a real kinesthetic view, something that you can hold on to, tangible in your mind, opposed to just talking about it without visuals. Look at these headstones. Respect for those that have passed. I think you get the point. Hello. I don't think there's a place that said, oh, we're going to walk and talk. Insider music protocol. So we're going to talk about total asset registration, rights administration, and sovereign distribution. We have the introduction of all of this, the graveyard of dreams, which is the dead end of music career. We don't want a dead end. We want a success that we can use to feed ourselves and our families. Talent is not the variable. There's so many artists that have been around. There's so many artists that's never been discovered that are more talented than the people that we know commercially and successfully famous and do all the stuff, get all the awards. But there's so many artists that they just didn't make it. And I think that that's sad, but also it's reality because it's possible now. As soon as you get this information, you can apply it. So the information is not being withheld anymore. Some is, but the information that you need to become successful in the way you would like is mostly available. So artists need to treat music as a business, not a lottery. So you upload to a distributor and you pray for a playlist placement. That's not what you do. You don't wait. This is not a business plan. It's a rope and hope. You throw the rope, hoping somebody tugs on it and pulls you up. And as you hope for that rope to be pulled, you drop and die. And that's what careers do. And it's a long drop. It's not a slow drop. We're going to get into the administrative shield. Administrative, boring in an artist's mind, but necessary to live. You need to make this a part of your business acumen. You cannot collect money that isn't assigned to you. Industry relies on black box royalties. It's money that gets put into this. Just imagine a big black box, just for the sake of putting this now in your mind, because there's no actual black box people put stuff in, but they call it that because it's a place where money goes to in a digital environment that nobody knows about. So they call it black box royalties. And it's a real thing. It's for all the organizations like ASCAP, MLC, and CSAC put money that does not get collected from artists like you that don't collect it. So that money eventually gets distributed to artists that have a bigger market share of music. Drake, Beyonce, Lil Baby, things like that, The Weeknd. So you're paying their bills, you're helping pay their bills with the money that you don't collect because it goes to artists that has the biggest market share, and every artist owns a little bit of that market, but not everybody gets it because you don't register. We have the most overlooked registration by independent artists, the mechanical royalties. We have the MLC, the Mechanical Licensing Collective. They collect the mechanical royalties. So let's go back to the black box. Streams from Spotify, digital streams from Apple Music, Tidal, an example of some of them. So you get the point. DistroKid, TuneCore, whoever you're releasing music through, they give you the sales for the music that's been made, but they don't collect the mechanical royalties. Sometimes they do, but they charge like a monthly fee for you as an additional service. And you would know that they are because you would have paid that additional money. Artists assume the distributor, DistroKid, TuneCore, Muse, whoever you distribute music through, collect the money that's generated by your music. But they distribute your music and collect the sales that your music makes, not the mechanical royalties. The mechanical royalties that is made off of the composition of your work. Remember, there's two sides of a song. You have your sound recording and you have your composition. The composition is what you wrote down. The sound recording is what people hear when the music is played. DistroKid don't collect the composition. MLC is collecting money made by the composition, your work that you wrote down. The music that's played for everybody to hear is the audio, and that's different. Your distributor collects the sound record royalty. The MLC collects the composition royalty. The stat, in its first transfer, the MLC, the Mechanical Licensing Collective, they haven't been around for too long. They've been around since 2018. And the first transfer that they did, they did 424 million in unmatched black box royalties to the MLC. And that was in the beginning. So you can only imagine what it is now. Create an account is free. It doesn't like cost anything. This was made by the government so artists can collect money and it's free. You also have your pros, your performance rights organizations like BMI and CSAC occasionally, except they're by invite only. So it's not just anybody that gets a CSAC account. We don't need to talk about them that much. But the function, the collecting of performance royalties occur by companies like BMI, ASCAP, organizations, I should say. And that's whenever your music is broadcast to the public, radio, TV, live venues, restaurants, and gyms. And the list goes on. And you get paid for your own performances when you perform your own music at a club or a bar. We can get to that another time. But you can get paid playing your own music live. And music that is producing public performances, generating music is not always something that's live. You don't always have to be playing music live to collect. People think public performance as if it's something that is standing on stage playing music that has to be happening for you to collect performance royalties. It sounds like that because of the name, but it's stuff that has been performed, played back in a recording of some sort. Collecting the broadcast music, like I said, on TV, live venues, things like that, you're going to go through ASCAP and BMI. Even if your music's not played on those things that I just mentioned, it's whenever it's played anywhere live. Online radio, college radio. ASCAP and BMI are nonprofit mostly. They pay out 85 to 90% of collections to writers and publishers. The grave mistake is not registering as a writer and a publisher. Some people only register as writer. And sometimes you can't collect anything unless you have both. You're supposed to register for both. The principle is every song, like we mentioned, is 50-50. They're in two parts, writer's share and the publisher share. This means that in the same way that a song is split up in two pieces, it's collected in two pieces. So every song is split 50-50. Writer's share, and a publisher share. If you only register as a writer, you are legally forfeiting the other 50% of your performance royalty to the PRO's black box that we talked about in the beginning. And that's if you can get that. I remember when I was registering a long time ago, a song, and it was an ASCAP's platform. I didn't have a publisher at the time, but I didn't know about this. And you had to put in the publisher information to proceed with the song registration. And I couldn't do it because I didn't have one because I didn't know I was supposed to register for one. And now it's free. They used to charge for this back in the day, but now it's completely free. So that's good. Register as a writer and a publisher. You don't have to have a company represent you on your behalf to have a publisher. You just have to make a publishing account and you can do that for free. And it just starts with, what is the name of the entity that you want to make? Not an LLC. When I say entity, it's just a publishing company that's registered with ASCAP or BMI or whoever your pro is. So having that, am I in the right? Yeah, I'm in the right place. I'm talking and walking, so I want to make sure I'm going the right way. So I don't get lost. Oh, here we go. So yeah, registration, boring. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. An idea a while ago, with my friend, I was talking to about this stuff and I said, you know what? We don't do this stuff because it's not fun. You have record release parties. You have, listening parties, all these parties when it comes to music. People party to your music. What if we have registration parties? You just copyright your music and you register it and it becomes a fun thing. It's not boring anymore, but it is something that's celebrated and making normally boring fun. And I think that's cool. And we got to do that more often. You got work to do. My name is Jeremiah. I'm known as Element. I'm from Los Angeles, California.
I'm engraving history inside the pages of rhythm.
If you're hearing this, you're already on the inside.